Hey team, it's Jeff, and it's a beautiful Sunday morning, and you can hear the birds chirping here, and I'm back in Langley, BC. It's so nice to be home. It was kind of a crazy week. As many of you know, I started off last Sunday in London, and Monday in Ireland, and Tuesday and Wednesday back in London working with Fiat, and finding some new suppliers in the UK for our private sales, and for data services and such. And then Thursday I was in Toronto, and Friday I was in Atlanta, and yesterday I was in St. Catharines shooting videos for the Hyundai Greatest Auto Sale. So it's been a busy week. But you know, I was flying home yesterday on my flight from Toronto, and I was going through comments that you fill in from your events. And one kind of word or principle stood out from several of the events from last week, and I want to talk about a couple of them this morning. And that word is expectation. You know, I was reading Peter Herbert's report on Vernon Dodge, and he talked about how he went into that store that he goes into often. And immediately he noticed the expectation was lower. Why? Because two of their top salespeople were off for the weekend. So the dealer automatically assumed that they weren't. The expectation was, well, we're not going to have a successful event. We're missing some of our key guys. So what did Peter do? He engaged the team. He did some what he calls his development sessions. He got a hold of the office to do an extra text and email blast so he could get some more appointments and leads. And they worked it. And you know what? They didn't have their best sale, but they had one of their better sales. I believe he said 100% of the appointments that showed went to paper, and they sold 16 cars, which is in their probably top 20%. So that's leadership, Peter. Congratulations. When you sense that expectation is down by engaging and taking charge and saying, no, I expect great things from you. You know, I think of Stephen McIntosh, one of our new trainers in America, who was at a Chevrolet store this week. And as soon as he gets to the store, everybody's expectation is down. Why? Because Chevy's recalled 3 vehicles on their lot, 3 major models. They're like, well, we can't sell these 3 vehicles. We can sell them, but we can't deliver them. And it's kind of a negative. We don't want to talk about it. And so he said, well, what can we sell? Let's focus on the vehicles we can move and we can market, which they did do. And then the sales manager, there was a couple of veteran salespeople, and the manager just said to Stephen, you know, those guys, they're not going to engage. Those veterans, they won't. So the manager expected the veterans not to engage. So Stephen's job then was what? To try to engage those veterans and at least show them that the program works, if they'll work it. So congratulations, Stephen. That was great leadership on your part. You know, I think oftentimes it works the other way. We'll go into a store, and we've all talked about this, and the dealer says, I want to sell 50 cars, and I expect to sell 50 cars. And so our job then is to look at the expectation on the effort side, not just the results, and say, Mr. Dealer, I'm all in with 50 cars. I want to sell 50 cars. But let's reverse engineer that. Let's look at your last 3 private sales, or let's just look at the averages. We know if we make 100 appointments, 40 are going to show, 40%, and 60% will probably close if your team's got a strong, strong bench strength. So that would give us 24 car deals. So hey, we might get 5 or 6 from walk-ins, maybe 30, but we need 200 appointments if you want to sell 50. So my expectation's there. Let's put the work in together. We get 200 appointments, we'll sell 50 cars. You know, it was also interesting when I was in St. Catharines yesterday and shooting the Greatest Auto Sale videos, I met a saleswoman. Mary Lou is her name. She's only been in the business 7 years, and she's going to sell 400 cars this year. And so I took the time to interview her, and you'll see that interview come out as I'm going to be, over the course of the summer, interviewing top salesmen from around the country as one of the little projects I have for the summer to elevate the industry and show new and experienced salesmen that I believe in the business. And I talked to Mary Lou, and you know, she said the usual things you hear from a top salesperson. I mean, heck, she's only been in the business 7 years. But you know, she talked about relationships that she builds with her customers, and that's pretty standard. But then she said something powerful. She says 68% of her business is repeat and referral. And she expects her customers to buy from her. She expects them to refer people to her because she knows she takes care of them. And as a matter of fact, she said from the day they walk in, the minute they walk in and I meet them, I'm talking about how much of my business is referral, and I expect them to buy, and I expect them to refer other people. So that expectation is so, so powerful. I know at the registration table on private sale day, when we share the story of the sale, we share it with passion and conviction. We expect those customers are going to buy. Quite frankly, you know, if they don't, it's a surprise. It's a shock to us because we're having an event. We've got the story. We've got the opportunity. Rock and roll. So, you know, as my friend John Maxwell says, people will typically rise or fall to your level of expectation. So this week as we run our private sales across North America and the UK, let's have great expectations. Yes, for effort and for results. Keep living the dream.